Welcome to This Explainer. Look, today we're unpacking a really powerful, honestly kind of uncomfortable paradigm shift. We're living in this era of just absolute abundance, right? We've got more resources, better tools, and more access than literal kings had a century ago. But have you ever felt like you've got all that raw talent, all the best ingredients for success, and yet you're just not getting the results you actually want? Well, why is that? The source material we're analyzing today has a deeply revealing answer to that exact question.
So do you have the talent and the tools but still feel stuck? Seriously, think about it. You might have the best education, the brightest ideas, the whole shebang, but your raw potential just kind of sits there. It's not translating into real-world wins. And hey, you're definitely not alone in this. Our source points out something crucial here. Having the talent and the tools, that's just the baseline nowadays. It's literally just the starting line, it is not the finish line.
Moving into Section 1, the rarest skill, the modern paradox, let's examine the fundamental problem that's blocking high-potential folks from actually winning. The author drops a profound idea right out of the gate here. Focus is becoming the rarest skill on the planet. I mean, really think about that for a second. It's not coding. It's not financial literacy. It is focus. The author is explicitly stating that none of your inherent gifts, your massive intelligence, your top-tier productivity apps, none of it matters at all if you can't stay focused on a single task. The playing field has completely shifted, mainly because the simple ability to just pay attention has become a true scarcity.
On to Section 2, talent versus attention, the uncomfortable matchup. Here's where the problem really starts to agitate, pitting you against a very specific type of competitor.
This comparison brilliantly illustrates the core conflict. Picture two people. First, there's you, right? High talent, high intelligence, armed with literally the best tools money can buy. Then, picture your competitor. This is someone with slightly less natural talent than you, but they possess one very specific, very dangerous trait. They can sit with one single problem for hours straight. The source makes a brutal claim here. That second person, they are going to beat you every single time. If they can lock their attention onto a task without breaking, your natural advantages are just wiped out, gone. So what does this all mean? Well, it means we need to completely redefine what actually drives achievement today. Success is not about what you know, it is about how long you can hold your attention to one useful thing. We spend our entire lives trying to accumulate more knowledge, buy better tools, find the next hack, but those things are entirely useless if they aren't directed by sustained attention. The new metric for success is basically a measure of endurance. It's like a stopwatch, measuring exactly how long you can hold your focus without clicking away.
Which brings us to Section 3, the boring reality, why most fail. If the whole equation is simply about holding attention, we have to face the hard truth of why people still fail to do it. Why is something so fundamentally simple so incredibly rare? Well, the source hits us with a pretty uncomfortable realization. It's not a lack of intelligence that's tripping us up. It boils down to these three words. Real focus is boring. It's repetitive, and it's relentless. Focus isn't some sexy, exciting movie montage of rapid breakthroughs. No, it means sitting still. It means doing the exact same thing over and over. Most people fail because the absolute second the work gets tedious, they break their attention. They go looking for that quick hit of stimulation, checking a phone, opening a new tab, falling down a doom-scrolling rabbit hole. They lose the match simply because they absolutely refuse to tolerate boredom.
And that leads straight into a stark, no-nonsense warning from the author. If you can't control your attention, you can't win. Wow, let that sink in. There is absolutely no substitute for sitting still with the work. You cannot outsmart a lack of focus, and you definitely can't buy a software tool that'll do the focusing for you. Actually, scratch that. No tool even comes close. If you do not hold the reins on your own mind, victory is mathematically impossible in this framework. Winning is exclusively reserved for the people who actually command their own attention. Okay, so how do we fix this? The source mandates two immediate aggressive changes in behavior to bridge that gap between your raw talent and actual victory. Step 1. Stop looking for a shortcut. That constant, exhausting search for a life hack or a faster way is exactly what's shattering your attention in the first place. Step 2. Start controlling your focus. You just have to accept that the work will be boring sometimes. Accept the repetition. Stop trying to escape the discomfort and start actively managing exactly where your mind is directed.
Which leads us to the ultimate question. You know the formula now. You know for a fact that the person who can sit for hours straight is the one who's going to win. So I'll leave you with this final provocative thought to challenge how you approach your very next task. Will you keep looking for shortcuts and let someone with way less talent outwork you? Or will you finally embrace the boredom, control your focus, and unlock the true power of your potential? The choice is entirely yours. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.